And now let's talk about the National Banking and Ethics Challenge. In the studio with me this morning is Doris Ahiati. She's a fellow chartered banker, financial consultant, and executive coach. We also have Robert Jato. He's CEO, Chartered Institute of Bankers, Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
I must tell my audience that I've learned a lot off camera, but now let's get the conversation going so they can understand what we're doing here. And for the benefit of those who are not familiar with the Chartered Institute of Bankers, just introduce us to what you do, your core mandate, and then we can follow through with the rest of the conversation. So.
Cool. Thank you very much. And at Chartered Institute of Bankers, we exist to solve Africa's human capital needs with trusted professionals. We have a mandate under the Chartered Institute of Bankers Act 2019, Act 991, to promote the study of banking, but also regulate the practice of the banking profession. For us, that means developing trusted professionals for the financial service sector, putting ethics, sustainability, and professionalism on the agenda of banks and bankers, and certainly being the leadership engine for our country. You know, banks require capital, and we know minimum capital, regulatory capital, but the human capital is crucially important, and that's what we focus on as Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana.
If I was to join you, now I know where I would go, human resources. Doris, so, I mean, what are some of the, before we get into the challenge proper, what are some of the benefits of joining the professional body if you're a banker?
Thank you very much. I think that's an interesting question to ask. As a professional who has been providing service to different institutions, usually before they finalize the engagement for you to provide the service, they want to check your credibility. They want to check if they can trust you. They want to check if you are competent enough to deliver. And being able to point to an institution where you belong to gives them that comfort, because what the institution does, beyond the initial charter qualification, will be continuous professional development, CPDs, to ensure that you don't get rusty, that you are abreast with evolving times and trends and new concepts that enable you to deliver what is valuable to the market. Then I also value the networking that happens amongst us as professionals. That's something that I don't downplay at all. And then the opportunities for further growth. Sometimes we contribute and serve the institute. And through these opportunities and avenues, we develop our leadership skills, and we also upgrade what we are able to contribute to the society.
You know what they say, your net worth is based on your networks.
Yes.
So if you are a banker, it's time for you to join the Chartered Institute of Bankers right now. So let's talk about the National Banking and Ethics Challenge. How did this brilliant initiative, how was it birthed, Mr. Jato?
All right, so thank you, Siti. So, you know, there's quite a number of things that have happened in our country in recent times, whether you're looking at it from the banking sector reforms, or the DDEP, or you look at Bank of Ghana fraud reports. And you see that there is the need for us to continue to build resilience and public trust in financial services. As an institute, we go to a number of secondary schools, and last year, the last 2 years, we've done a number of schools in Ashanti region, in Volta region, and we discovered something very strange. Our younger brothers and sisters in those schools are betting, and they see betting as an investment. Well, betting may give you a source of income, but from a banker's perspective, betting is not an investment. And if you look at our mandate is to promote banking education, and so the responsibility falls to us to actually bring that knowledge. And we thought it would be crucially important to get people in the universities reading banking and finance to be champions and advocates of financial literacy, digital literacy, ethical literacy. And for us, the business of banking really is based on the business of trust. Trust is the currency in banking. Cash is the raw material that we use. And that trust comes from character, which is ethics, doing the right thing when no one is watching, but also competence, ability to do the work. But even more importantly, from a regulatory point of view, playing within the rules, which is why banking is highly regulated. And for us, putting the spotlight on ethical literacy, but also national banking education to inspire public trust to build resilience in the financial system is what has inspired this important initiative.
So what I hear is you want to reorient young people in terms of their mentality and approach to the wrong, what they're calling investment, which really is gambling. It's not investment.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned university. So they're the target participants. Let me throw that question to Doris.
Thank you very much. Beyond shaping the young ones to educate them, I think it's also important to highlight the fact that we are already trying to shape their mindset to build in them those ethical standards, the ethical literacy that is required to support the confidence that we need in the financial system. So that's something important. Our target audience goes beyond the university students. In the challenge, we have universities participating. We have Wisconsin, we have Pentecost University, we have Academic City, we have UPSA, and we also have University of Ghana.
I was waiting for that. I was going to ask why it's only private schools, but go ahead, yeah.
So, and University of Ghana Business School is my alma mater as well. So they will all be there. But they are not the only focus for this engagement. Remember that we said we are using this challenge to rebuild, contribute to rebuilding confidence in the financial system, to elevate trust. And so the everyday person who is transacting with one bank or the other is also our audience. So on the stage, you may see the students, but there is so much learning, so much awareness, because our objectives include that we are advancing financial literacy through these challenges, and that's going to everyone that uses a bank account in the country. And then we are also looking at creating awareness around the ethical literacy. We also see that today many people are using one form of technology or the other, digital finance or fintech. And so again, we are promoting awareness through the products, the options, the risks, and how you can protect yourself while in the digital space with this. Ultimately, we are aiming that through the challenge, we achieve that sustainability in the service which we deliver, a service that indeed touches every home and every individual.
So target participants, university students, but target audience, everyone really who interact with a bank one way or the other. And what is the mechanism of the competition? I know something is happening tomorrow. We'll get to that. But what's the format of the competition? What are they doing when they're up there? Can you tease us a bit so that we can actually make up an appointment to watch you?
Doris can handle that.
Doris, you want to tell us? What does it look like?
So growing up, I spent quite a bit of time watching Professor Ramade as a quiz mistress. I have the privilege to be the quiz mistress tomorrow.
You don't say.
Yes. And so imagine something like that. We have so many rounds cutting across the various themes that we are addressing, which we've highlighted earlier on. And so we'll have the universities respond to questions that are presented to them, and then they will earn points. And at the end of each round, we'll share the progress or an update on where each participant is. And at the end of the day, they will be awarded. It's supposed to be fun, engaging. The students will be learning and they'll be sharing their learning. And then our audience will also be going away with that learning and enhancement in their confidence and trust in the financial system.
And this is the maiden edition, Mr. Jato, you were saying. So aside learning from the students, networking, what is that X factor that will really make us want to tune in tomorrow and follow the competition?
Well, definitely the education is key. Remember, that's our mandate. And I think we all interact with banks in different ways. And if you go to your bank, you want to know what's happening behind the scenes, right?
Absolutely.
So if you look at the design of the questions, it'll be very much what happens at the front end, but also what happens behind the scenes. What do you need to know? If you're taking a loan, for example, what do you need to know? If you're using your digital platforms, for example, how do you understand and appreciate the basic, of banking? And even more importantly, you may have a son or a daughter who may decide to do banking. You want to really have an informed position as a parent. But to our students and others who would consider the profession, definitely this is an opportunity to understand what bankers do and what banks do as well. And for us, it's a real opportunity for us to educate the general public, but also inspire confidence and strengthen the resilience in the financial system. And I think that's a collective responsibility of all of us, given the importance of the financial sector in the economic development of our country.
Thank you for that. We're building trust and resilience one way or the other and strengthening all our systems. So, I mean, you came here with a message, and I want you to look into your camera and tell us what that message is, Doris. I mean, ask our audience to make an appointment with you tomorrow and view, or come in person, whichever way.
Yes.
It's your time now.
Thank you very much. So this is a special invitation I'm throwing out on behalf of the Chartered Institute of Bankers and the Fraternity of Chartered Bankers in Ghana, on behalf of our CEO who should be delivering this invitation. And I want to say you don't want to miss the opportunity to learn and understand, gain new insights about what really goes on in the banking and the financial system. The awareness and the learning that you will gain by either being in person or following the show online is going to equip and empower you to make decisions that will positively impact your finances, either as a customer of the bank or as a professional or a parent who may be mentoring people that find themselves in the banking industry. Together, we have a joint responsibility to restore ethics and professionalism in banking and finance.
Doris, I feel like if I gave you 10 minutes, you still have so much to tell us. But I want to give the CEO the opportunity to add a word or two to that. Mr. Jato.
So, again, this for us is really exciting. It's part of our mandate. And at Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana, we run flagship programs beyond the competition. We have the Chartered Banker qualification, but we also have the Chartered Banker for Executive Leadership program. We have a certification in ESG, and in collaboration with Bank of Ghana, we've developed ethics certification for the entire industry, which is part of the fit and proper assessment of Bank of Ghana if you're working in the industry. There are other programs coming up like Digital Academy. We are launching a program for what we call branch CEO certification. So there's quite a number of things that you can pursue at Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana. We want to throw the challenge to all our stakeholders to support this initiative, but also support the institute, sponsor some of the initiatives that are coming up, and let's make our country stronger and better.
All right. So tomorrow at the Chartered Institute of Bankers Auditorium at 9 a.m. sharp, there you have it. The details are on your screens right now. We have the National Banking and Ethics Challenge, and you don't want to miss it. Mr. Jato, where is the CIB Ghana Auditorium? Which part of town is it?
So it's at the Trinity Avenue, East Legon.
Great.
Violation.
All right. I guess once you put that in your Google map, it'll bring you there straight. So don't miss it. Thank you so much, Doris Ahiati. She's a fellow chartered banker and financial consultant and also an executive coach. And then we had the CEO, Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana, Robert Jato. Thank you all so much for coming, and I wish you the very best tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.